we'll just, invite Nehal, because Dipali is waiting very eagerly to listen to Nehal, because she wants to become a commercial pilot. Okay, so I'll just introduce Nehal. Captain Nehal Agarwal is a commercial pilot. After completing his schooling from APS Dholakua in the year 2017, he went on to complete his flying training from Falcon Aviation Academy in the year 2019. And further, he got his specialization on Airbus A320 this year. He's also pursuing his bachelor's in, degree in Bachelor of Computer Application, BCA from IGNOU simultaneously. Welcome, Beta.
Thank you, ma'am. And it's so good to see you after so many years. And thank you for inviting me to
it's
this.
After a long time. I think after you left school, we haven't met. But
yes, ma'am.
I must tell all the other panelists that Nehal was always a very bright child and a very good boy in the class.
Ma'am, it is all your blessings and mentoring that I have been able to come to this stage in my life. And I owe the school and all my teachers for that. And
wonderful. So, Beta, we actually Dipali Patil, she is with us, and she is very keen to become a commercial pilot. And so you would have to help her. And Dipali, please ask your questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Or okay, let Nehal speak, and then anything if he has left out, then you can ask Nehal.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Nehal.
Okay.
Can you just
Hi,
tell us about your journey?
Yes, ma'am. So, hi, Dipali. I completed my 12th, as ma'am told, I completed my 12th class in 2017 from APS Dholakua, that's in New Delhi. And after that, I went on to pursue my career in civil aviation. And there are a few, it's a very vast community, or I'll say a vast subject, civil aviation. There are many things which you have to keep in mind before entering. And actually, this is a nice opportunity to help you out, because when I started in this field, I was completely blank as to what to do. I had no guide or mentor. So, see, there are three main stages of becoming a commercial pilot. First is the medical stage, which you have, which is conducted by the Air Force, the initial medical stage. It is conducted by the Air Force. You have to clear that. You have to be medically fit in all aspects. The second stage is the examination stage, which is conducted by the Government of India under Ministry of Civil Aviation. There is an organization called Director General of Civil Aviation, which conducts all the exam, and all the commercial pilots go through these exams. They have to pass these exams in order to get their license. And the third and final stage would be your flying training, which you can do from academies across India. There are about 30 academies, 30, across India, in every, I'll say, all the regions, north, south, east, west. They have academies, and more are opening up day by day. So the minimum requirement for civil aviation is, of course, class 12 and science field. That is the minimum requirement. And after that, once you have cleared your class 12th and you've got your results, so you have to register with DGCA in the beginning. And DGCA then guides you. They take you through your medical examination. Then you have your written examinations. Written examinations are actually up to you. You can either clear them before starting your flying training, you can clear them after starting your flying training, or you can clear them after completing your flying training. That is up to you. They don't have any specific criteria that you have to clear the exams before your training. But it is advisable that you clear the exams before training, because once you have the theoretical knowledge, which is very important, it will be easier for you to fly. I did a mistake because since I told you I had no mentor when I entered civil aviation, so I did a mistake and I did my exams along with my flying training, and that is the burden, because as I said earlier, this is a very vast field, and there are about 7 exams which consists of both written, and in 2 of them you have to appear for an interview for a viva. So after that, the next stage would be you have to complete your flying hours. the training hours, the training is not like any other degree program or anything. It is time based. A pilot, his experience is based on the number of flying hours he has on his record. Similarly, the training, you have to complete 200 hours of flying in your training academy to be eligible to get a commercial pilot license. Okay, so that again, you can contact any academy across India. Some academies even have entrance examinations, although that is not there in maximum of them. So a few academies, they have entrance examinations. I did my training from Falcon Aviation Academy, and I had no entrance examination, but yes, the DGC examinations, that's compulsory. You cannot do without that. Okay, then coming back to the medical thing, you have to undergo medical examinations every year. Every pilot goes through medical year, and every year it's a very thorough medical examination. As I told you, initially it is conducted by Air Force, and every 5th year you have to go to the Air Force establishment to get your medical done. Other years, there are some unpaneled doctors by the government. They are on the government's list. So you can just have see that list on the DGCA website. I can tell you DGCA website, you can note it down. It is dgca.gov.in. So you can find relevant information there. It's a very nice website, and you'll find information regarding medical and training, everything you can find on that website. And once you have cleared your medical, it is advisable to clear your medical before starting your flying training. Since if you start your training before medical and God forbid something comes up in your medical and you are rendered unfit, because there can be, although I wouldn't want anything like that to happen, but there can be sometimes some issues which you don't know by yourselves, but that's an issue for civil aviation. After all, it's a matter of life of about 100 or 150 passengers you'll be carrying in your plane. So you should first go through medical. There are two stages of medical again. One is which we call is class 2 medical, which is a notch lower than the next stage, that is the main stage, the class 1 medical. So the class 1 medical will be done by the Air Force, and once you clear that, you'll receive your certificate. Then you can go to any academy, start your training. And if you have completed your exams prior to your training, you'll have an advantage on your hand, because then the academy has no restraint to make you study or explain many things to you. They can just consider that you know those things, the basic things. All right, so that will be a added advantage. You will finish your training much faster in that case. I finished my training in about 1.5 years. I started back in 2017 and I completed my training in 2019. I started in late 2017, so I'll say 1.5 years I completed my training, and I got my CPL last year in June 2019.
Dipali, do
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
any questions regarding the fee structure and other things? Any kind of scholarship which is available? I think she wants to know all that, Nehal. So if you can just help her with that.
Yes, ma'am, surely. So as I was saying, the minimum requirement is class 12 physics, chemistry, maths. And apart from that, let me come to the financial viewpoint. So I'll be very honest, it is financially draining. Flying training is a costly affair, no doubt in that. I myself ended up spending about 25 to 30 lakhs in this. And but on the same side, you get to know a lot of things, and once you start working, so all that money which you have spent, you recover that cost within a span of 2 years or at max 3 years. Because if I talk from a salary point of view, the salary starts from 1.5 to 2 lakhs per month. So it is safe to say that you'll recover that amount very quickly in 2 to 3 years. As far as scholarship is concerned, I am not aware of any scholarship in this course. No academy provides scholarship as far as I know. And it's purely based on your knowledge and your understanding. You need to have a good I'll say imaginary skills, because many subjects in aviation, they cannot demonstrate everything to you practically. So you'll have to imagine, you have to, have those imaginary skills to understand the concepts. And one more thing I would like to make clear is that it is not a degree or a diploma course. It is not like that. It is just a license, just like a driving license. It's a flying license. It's not a degree course. Although there are options available for degrees like BSc Aviation and all, which few academies, like there's a government run flying academy called Rajiv Gandhi Flying Academy, which is in Raebareli. So they have a 3-year course in which they give you a license as well as the degree for BSc Aviation. That's why it's a 3-year course. BSc Aviation is a 3-year degree program. Otherwise, the flying itself you can finish in 1 year if you're regular. So that's the thing. So, don't just come into this line without a content plan, since aviation is a very volatile field. Like right now in this COVID-19 scenario, airlines are suffering huge losses, and they have had to lay off a few of their crew members. But at the same time, I agree that aviation gets hit whenever such a thing happens, like the COVID-19 disaster or an economic fallout or anything. But they are one of the few first ones to get back on their feet also, because of the aviation, the world network will be disrupted. The network of trade and transport, it will get disrupted. And secondly, if you go to any centers for aviation, like any academies or any study centers for aviation, there are a lot of study centers for ground classes in Delhi. There's this place called Ramphal Chowk in Sector 7 of Dwarka, New Delhi. So that is like the hub for aviation classes. All the classes for all subjects in which you have to clear the DGCA exams and all, they are at Ramphal Chowk. From your medical to exams to your flying training, you'll find everything at Ramphal Chowk. There are people who are themselves pilot and they're mentoring other people. So you can go there, and there also many people will actually try to lure you into going abroad for flying training. That was me. I got into study center, which they were sending me to America in a school called Dean International for flying training. But the thing is, see, I ended up doing it from India, and it doesn't really matter whether you do your training from India or abroad. Because if I can give you an analogy or an example, it doesn't matter whether you get your driving license from Delhi or from Uttar Pradesh or from Rajasthan. It's a driving license. It gives you the same right to drive. You can drive after getting a license. So it's the same scenario here. You can get your license from India, from New Zealand, from America, wherever you want, but in the end you'll end up flying a plane. But the main difference is that if you go abroad, you'll end up spending almost double, even if they lure you with a lower package and everything. But when you live in a foreign country, you'll end up spending more there on your living. The living costs are high and everything is there. So financially, it will be a burden much more than what you would spend in India. So I would advise you to train in India in that scenario. In that thing, you should prefer doing your training in India. And again, this profession is a very demanding profession, because once you get into it, there's no turning back, because you would have already spent so much that you would not like to turn back. And secondly, you have to study a lot, like you have to study your whole life, because aviation subjects are such volatile subjects. They're ever changing, and you'll forget a topic within days. I can guarantee. I myself don't remember maximum of my topics right now, and I'm studying every day for that. So you have to study your whole life. The retirement is at like what, 65 in aviation. So just be sure that you'll be studying every day till you are 65 years of age.
Okay,
So
that's
if
great,
you
Nehal.
have
Thank
that
you.
kind of commitment,
Thank you, beta. Thank you so much.